Hey, it's okay if you're just not okay with being single. We get a message a lot of times these days that tells us, you should be happy alone. You don't need a man. You're a warrior and you don't need anybody. But if you're like me and you're like, well, I don't want to be single. I want a relationship and I want a man in my life. So that's what we're going to talk about this episode of Wonderful Life. Is it okay to not be okay with being single? Hi, I'm Mary Dittman. I'm an award-winning business professor on the collegiate level, and I'm the creator of College on Fleek and One-Derful Life. Welcome to Wonderful Life. Okay, well, so what is this? Wonderful Life is my way of describing how it feels when you have made peace with being single. In my case, I'm a successful businesswoman. I have a great career. Everything in my life is working really well. But what most people wouldn't really know about me is that I've always wanted to get married and have a family. And there's really no logical reason why that hasn't happened for me, but it hasn't. And it's been a great source of sadness for me, even to the point where at one time in my life I said, I just don't know how I could ever be happy being single. And I kind of made the decision in my mind that I guess I'm just not going to be happy in my life. And if you've ever felt that way, you know that's really no way to live. And my brother said something to me one time that just really stuck with me. He said, sis, at some point, you've got to make peace with being single, because what if it doesn't change? And that's what I was always really afraid to think about, was what if it doesn't change? Well, I'm way past 40 and I've never been married. I don't have any children. I still want to get married. I'd love to be a stepmom. But I also realized that I didn't want to spend any more time in my life being miserable while I was single. You know, everybody tells you if you want to find someone, you have to be happy. But I was like, how can I be happy when I'm by myself and I don't like being single? But then I'm supposed to, what are you, to fake happy? And then you attract these guys that are kind of like fakes and you wonder why. Well, if you're acting like a fake, you're going to attract these fake guys. But I just couldn't figure out, like, you're supposed to be happy while you're single, but I'm not happy because I don't like being single. But I realized I needed to figure out how to be happy. And I'm not happy because I'm single, but I've learned how to be happy while I'm single. There's a lot of women out there that they say, well, I love being single. I'll never get married again. I love my freedom. And I'm kind of jealous. I wish I felt that way, but I just don't. I would really prefer to be in a relationship. And for me, I would like the form of the relationship to be marriage. And that's not for everybody. I understand that, but I'm not here to try to help you be in a spot of you don't need a man and you should just be happy alone. That's not what Wonderful Life is about. Nor am I a dating coach. Because girl, if I could tell you how to get a good man, I wouldn't even be here because I'd have my man. So I'm not here to try to help you find a man or how to get a date. I can't help you with that. And there's a lot of really great coaches out there who can help. But I can help you figuring out when people tell you, well, you have to learn how to be happy by yourself, how to be truly happy, not faking it, while you're single. One of the questions that I've had in the past has been, well, like, shouldn't I just be okay with being single? And a lot of times I think in society, especially if you're successful, like you have a career, maybe you own your own home, and you might have children and you're single for the first time or you're single again, and you get this pressure of like, you don't need a man and you should be fine by yourself and you should be okay alone. Maybe your married friends tell you that they're a little bit jealous of you because you have freedom that they don't have. And sometimes I think in our society we are made to feel guilty if we say, I really do want a man in my life and I really want to be married. And so we kind of have this question of, is it okay that I'm not okay with being single? And I think it is okay. I think it's perfectly normal that anything in your life you look at and say, you know what, I accept that this is how this is right now, but I sure would like to see this change. So let's talk about how could you be not okay with being single, but still have peace and happiness. And the first thing is, I say, get real. Get real with yourself and admit to yourself, what is it that you want? And I spent a lot of time beating myself up about, I should be okay by myself. I shouldn't feel like I need a man. I shouldn't want anything. And there's a difference between need and neediness. I do need a man. I would really like to have that in my life. I don't. I'm not needy about it, okay? I work, I pay my bills, I entertain myself, I have my retirement funded. So it's not a neediness of, oh, I need this to be okay. I can't go on without it. That would be neediness. But get real. And if what you really want is to be married or to be in a relationship or to be a mom, whatever that is, just get real about it just with yourself first. Secondly, I would say listen to biology, not Hollywood. Hollywood wants to sell us a couple of versions of what I think is a myth. The first version is, you don't need a man, you're a warrior, you go out there and you can slay the dragon. And listen, I'm all about that, okay? I think women should work. I think that you need to have independence, you need to have your own money, because a lot of marriages don't work out, or your husband could die. One of my girlfriends, her husband died and was in the process of updating his will, and it wasn't finished. And basically everything went to his adult children, and she was left with nothing. So, just getting married or having a man in your life is not a guarantee that you're going to just be taken care of. So I do think you need to still take care of yourself. Hollywood, I think on one hand can want to sell us this myth that, you don't need a man in your life to be happy. And the other version of the myth, I believe, is this Prince Charming. This man is going to come in, everything's going to be all better, and he's going to just make your life all sunshine and rainbows. He's going to save you from your bills, save you from your singleness, save you from yourself. And neither one of those are really true. When I say listen to biology, listen, evolutionary psychology tells us that men have a certain programming in their brains and women have a certain programming in their brains. And men are programmed to want to provide and protect, and women really are programmed to want to be provided for and protected. Now, again, this doesn't mean that you can't take a self-defense class. This doesn't mean that you can't provide for yourself. Of course you can, and you should. But the idea is that it's normal and it's okay to want someone who can take care of you, because if you're going to be with somebody, it's a partnership. He's going to need some things from you. You're going to need some things from him. And that's okay and that's healthy. So it's all right when you're looking at how can I be okay? Is it okay that I don't want to be single? Yeah, because that's your psychological makeup. It's telling you want, listen, humans are pack animals and we want to be part of something. And as women, we want to be connected and we want to feel protected and safe. And listen, I'm not trying to make this about male, female. That's what the biology is. But this applies as well if you're gay. You want to be connected and you want someone who can come along beside you and share your life with you, and you can take care of them and they can take care of you. So when we try to make ourselves like, I'm just going to be okay with being single, but it's okay if you're not. But number 3, don't settle. because you will be unhappy. And the whole point of a wonderful life is to be happy, like for real, not just slapping a fake smile on your face and being like, oh, everything's great, praise the Lord. Because if you're not truly happy and you're just faking it all the time, you're not going to be authentic, and you're going to know in your heart that you're not happy, and other people are going to pick up on that too. And when you settle for something that is not what you truly want, you're not going to be happy. Listen, I've dated men that didn't work, or they didn't make very much money, or they had whatever different issues, and I thought, well, maybe I'm just being too old-fashioned, that I want a man who could provide for me. I have no intention of stopping working, but I would like a man that can provide for me financially, although he won't have to. And I tried to make things work with men who didn't have that level of financial ability, and I was not happy. It was very scary to me to picture myself being the primary breadwinner for a family. You may not feel that way. You may be totally cool with you go out and work and he stays home and takes care of the kids, and if that's what works for you, hey, that is cool. Again, step number one, get real with yourself about what you want. But then down at step number 3, don't settle. Like, stay true to what it is that you want. Now, I actually wrote a blog on this, and so if you want to read some more about it, or you just kind of want to like mull this over and get a little bit more inspiration from it, you can check out my blog. You can go to One-Derful Life.com, and you can read a little bit more on this subject of, is it okay that I'm not okay with singleness? And this show is not about me, it's about us. And I want this to be a place where we can feel welcome, and we can feel supported, and we can be a tribe. I'm in some different Facebook groups for single women, and sometimes some of the ladies will post that they are getting frustrated with dating, or they are afraid, like it's not working for me, and what if I end up alone? And in some of the groups that I've been in, they really get chastised for that. Like, stop being so negative. That's why you're single, because you have a bad attitude. But I think a lot of times when you're single and you don't want to be single, it is frustrating, and you do feel afraid sometimes. And that's what One-Derful Life is about. It's a place for us to be while we're single, and I can help you with how to be happy and how to have peace. Hopefully your singleness will change if you want it to. But while you're single, I hope that this is going to be a place where you can feel accepted and supported. So I'd love for you to post in the comments, what are some of the struggles you have with being single? This show is going to air every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And like I said, you can always find me at One-Derful Life.com. But I want you to feel like you can come join us Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. And every week I'll cover a topic that either I've struggled with or someone has reached out to me with. And like I said, I want you to feel that you are welcome here and accepted, and I want to help you create that wonderful life for yourself. So next week, we're going to talk about why I think there actually might not be somebody for everybody. People say that there's a lid for every pot. I don't really know if I believe that. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. Hey, listen, I want to thank you for joining me here on One-Derful Life. Like I said, we're going to have a new episode every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and love to hear from you in the comments. And you can connect with me anytime on social media or at One-Derful Life.com. So I'll see you next time.